So let me give this sister and soror literally a proper introduction. She is a survivor. She is a survivor, man. And I tell you, one of the hardest working women. I thought I worked hard. But Alexis, I didn't think, honey, Alexis works hard. Okay? Am I right, Alexis?
Girl, you are right, honey, baby. I'm telling you, I work all 24 hours of the day. Did you
Hey,
hear me?
hey.
All of them.
And if you ain't working, something ain't right, though.
Come on now.
If you don't work, you don't eat.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it
That's right.
says. But let me
That's
give her a proper introduction. She is my soror, Alexis Ceasar-White. She's a broker, co-founder, and co-owner of White and McCraw Realty. She is a two-time, right, Alexis?
right.
Breast,
Twice.
twice, two-time breast cancer survivor. And she is the founder of Fight Like a White Breast Cancer Foundation. Welcome, survivor Alexis. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, wonderful, and always it's a pleasure and a blessing to be a part of the Dr. Don show. So I just want to thank you to my good soror over there, Dr. Don. Thank you so much for having me on your show and bringing some light to both the foundation and especially to the cause, which is breast cancer awareness. It's so many women that go around misdiagnosed, undiagnosed, self trying to figure out the self diagnosing. So we're going to get into all of that and just how important it is and what to look out for, and especially how the foundation can help all women.
Mm. Well, first, let's start with this because you said misdiagnosis. I didn't even think about that. First, because we have Leslie Stewart, we'll be talking to her later via phone. She'll be sharing her journey and waking us up as well. But Alexis, you're a survivor. How did you find out?
Well, I found out because I got pregnant with my fourth child
Mm-hmm.
and I was breastfeeding like most mommies do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I just literally thought, oh, my breast is tender. It's probably because of me breastfeeding, right? But then it got hard like a rock. And I was like, I don't think this is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the physician, went back to my OBGYN because, again, in my mind, it's something due to the pregnancy or post pregnancy.
Right.
And there he felt around and was like, yeah, no, this is not mastitis, which is an infection of the breast when you're breastfeeding. He was like, I don't think it's this. Let me send you over for an ultrasound. Literally, in one day, we went from an ultrasound to a mammogram to a biopsy at seven
Wow.
o'clock that night, all in
Wow.
one day.
Wow.
And then they went in to do the biopsy, and the needle broke
Oh, wow.
because that's just how hard it had gotten. So I
Wow.
like to call my son my miracle baby because if it wasn't for him and me being pregnant and all the hormones in my body
Yeah.
making it grow faster, I probably would have gone years, is what they tell me, without any type
Wow.
of recognition of knowing of anything. And
Mm.
that's kind of what happens. I mean, it kind of is for some women, it can lay dormant for a while and then it'll take something like a pregnancy or, something like that to make it come out. So that was my story.
Mm.
And then we beat it and we were grateful for it. And I loved on that little baby so hard.
Yeah.
And then about 5 years after that, I went for my typical PET scan, overall check, and it was back.
Wow.
And so it was one little spot, and they were like, "Well, do you want to be aggressive?" And I was like, "You darn right I do.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's do whatever it is we have to do." And so we went through treatments there, and now I can fully say I have been in remission. Knock on wood, for going on 8 years now. So
Amen.
it is a wonderful thing, but I am young. I just turned 40 in February.
Yeah.
And so I think it's one of those things that, we do have family history in my family. But
Okay.
again, I was running around thinking, oh, I'm young. I don't need to get tested. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't need a mammogram. And we do live by the urban myths. I mean, and I come from the medical field, and I too still feel victim to everything. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, I hear so many women say, "Oh, I just thought it was tender because my cycle was coming. Oh,
Mm.
I just thought I was working out too much. Oh, I just like." We will rationalize it,
Yeah.
or I just thought I turned crazy when I was sleeping. But if you feel something, go get it checked out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let them tell you no versus you tell yourself no. And then it is something. I mean, it doesn't
Mm,
always show up in the form that we think it's going to show up in. So,
yeah.
rather be on the safe side versus it being something later.
Now, why are some you mentioned misdiagnosed?
Now, some of the misdiagnosis just because the physician sometimes they'll look at a female and say, "Well, you're not old enough," or "You know what? It's
Mm,
probably just something with fibroids. So you drink a lot of caffeine. What are your activities?" So they'll start warning it towards something else
yeah.
versus taking them seriously and listening to the patient. Like you really sometimes you have to advocate. So a physician will easily say that it's something else. I've heard of plenty stories in that MD Anderson where women were like, I tried to tell them, and now I'm in stage two. When I
Wow.
probably could have called it in stage one, or I'm in stage three. And they were like, it took me four doctors before somebody would, write a script for a mammogram or give me an in-depth ultrasound. And that's what happens with a lot of women with dense breast tissue.
Yes.
If you're blessed up top, the mammogram may not show everything. So make sure, ladies, if you feel like it's something there, make sure you advocate for yourself to go out and actually get an in-depth ultrasound. That ultrasound does a whole lot for especially women with this dense breast tissue, larger, heavier chested individuals, because trying to get all of the tissue onto the mammogram slate sometimes it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Not saying anything against the mammography technician,
Right.
but just like in anything, everyone's not equally yoked,
Yeah.
right? So if you know and it doesn't feel right and you're getting this tenderness and it's coming and it's going, because that's another thing. Some people say, well, I get this pain, but then it goes away, but then it comes back. That is
Mm,
a sign. Go get checked out.
wow.
Please go get checked out.
Mm. And early detection is the key, right?
It is the
Early,
key.
yeah. And I
Yes,
think, but see, you know what? Other racial groups, because I was a doctor was doing a talk, and he said we don't. Other racial groups, they're gonna push it and say, no, you're gonna give me another mammogram. But many
yeah,
of us just take what the doctors say. Well, if you say that the other cultures, other races say no, you're going to test me again, and I'm not.
yes.
We're they don't just take what the doctor says,
It
whereas
says
we, yeah,
absolutely, and they'll leave one doctor and go to another one and
that's
say
right.
that one didn't run the test. And because we've been with Doctor whomever, our mama went to Doctor whomever, our
Mm,
grandma went, so we feel a sense of loyalty to this one physician. But your loyalty should be to yourself.
yeah,
And let
yeah,
me tell you, God put something in us to where we know when something is wrong with our bodies. Pay
yeah,
attention. If you
yeah.
pay attention, you will know, understand, and know how to self examine. Okay. I like to tell people get friendly with yourself. Look in the mirror. If you see
Mm,
something that looks abnormal, if don't be too like, well, I don't want to show somebody. Take a picture.
yeah,
Okay. And bring that photo into the physician and say, look, it looked like this.
that's
And
good.
now it's back normal. But at one point, like around this certain time, I always get this little spot or I get this little tenderness right here. Write a journal. We have so much going on in our lives that when somebody asks us to give a timeline, they could be missing something key, a key point in it. So as you start feeling stuff, jot it down.
Yeah,
Jot it down. Go in with the tools that you need to be able to advocate for yourself in the best way.
that's good. That's good, man. And get a second opinion. I like
All the
that.
time.
Journal and write it down. And you have to be. You said it, Alexis. Advocate. You got to be an
Yeah.
advocate because these doctors are. You're just another patient. Another. No, no, no. And then I get referrals. Like there's a doctor I'm going to see because I'm going to get, my mammogram this year. And
Yeah.
a sister, woman of God, I know, she's like, this was a great doc. You need to get referrals.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and get somebody with bedside manners. Get somebody
yeah,
that's gonna sit there and listen to you. If they're like, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, so and they just want to write a script,
yeah.
or they just want to say, okay, but what? Okay, but you don't have a family history. Like, don't do that. I mean, go to somewhere else, and also understand your right to get the brachial test.
Mm,
Okay, you can get it. If your insurance will cover it, call your insurance, see if they cover. If they do, it's nothing but a saliva test, and it lets you know if you carry the trait.
what's
And
it
then
called?
It's called the brachial test.
Okay, the brachial test. Okay.
Yes, so
Okay.
then it'll just let you know if you have it, if you're able, if you carry the trait, and then that way, the more you know, the better you can do, especially for females, because you may be the first in your family to get this.
Mm,
If not, if you have children, I have four beautiful daughters.
yeah.
My oldest daughter just got the brachial test. Thank God she came back. She doesn't carry the trait.
Okay.
We're waiting for my second daughter. She has to turn 20. She's 19. When she does, she'll be
Wow.
able to get the test. And then, so that's just the things that we do because, again, we're hypersensitive and they're hypersensitive, but that's
Yeah.
because mom went through it, right?
Yeah.
But if you haven't had someone to go through it, these are the things you can do. And these are the opportunities that the foundation affords people. So if your insurance doesn't cover it, Alexis Ceasar-White, Fight Like a White Breast Cancer Foundation will get you that bronchial test. We also help you in the transitional moments. If you end up being a breast cancer patient, we
Mm.
do help you out financially to help you with your
Wow.
medical and also with your personal needs. I mean,
Wow.
sometimes, for insurance, it takes a while. A lot of people
Mm.
don't get short term disability, they have long term. And so that means you have to go 6 months with
Mm.
before anything can kick in, right? Because
Wow.
again, when you're signing up for these positions with HR, that's not what you're thinking about, right?
No.
They offer you all this stuff. You're looking at how much is coming out your check. Maybe you just got to pay great, or maybe it's your first job. So you're not really trying to check all those boxes, right? We've all been there.
Yeah.
But in times of crisis, when something happens, we're gonna be there. So sitting in MD Anderson afforded me the opportunity to see a whole lot of women come in and out of those doors, and a lot of times they just needed support.
Yeah.
They just needed some type of camaraderie. They weren't looking for thousands of dollars. Sometimes it was a few hundred they were short to get medication, to get additional testing, and then they're trying to
Mm.
figure out how to do it. Yes, the hospitals are great, but their resources are limited
Yeah.
because you have to think about how many patients they have coming through.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate, the Cumin Foundation, Sisterhood, and the Rose Foundation. But
Oh
again,
yes.
those are three different foundations that they're trying to help out everybody. Susan B. Cumin's foundation is national,
Yeah.
right? Sisterhood and Rose, they're local to
Yes.
Houston. But again, I know for a fact if someone from another city asks for help, they do try to accommodate them. So I am just another vessel to be out there to try to help individuals in their time of need, add to the resource platforms there, and be able to spread the wealth. That's it.
Mm. That's good. Now, before we let you go, and we have her email, her information up here. Fight Like a White Foundation at
Yes,
whitemccrawrealty.com. If you're watching on StreamYard, you see it. But again, it's Fight Like a White Foundation at whitemccrawrealty.com. Do
yes,
call them, call them. Now, tell us about the upcoming event in
yes.
October.
So this Tuesday, October 24th, I'm so excited. We're going to be doing a kickoff. It's with our warriors. We created a warrior circle because when you fought this fight, honey, you are a true warrior. Okay. And so
Yes.
we are going to be uplifting these survivors and even a couple that have succumbed to it. We're going to honor their families, and we're just going to give these women's stories life. We're going to tell what they did, how they overcame, who they were, and just kind of how much of a blessing they are, to still be around. And again, for those that have left, the impact they left, even with their life that they had. And then on the 26th, we are teaming up with Soulless Mammography to do a community event. So
Okay.
we're bringing awareness to how important it is to get a mammogram, what to look for, how to self test, all of those things. And then on the
Wow.
28th, we are ending it with the Alexis Ceasar-White Fight Like a White Breast Cancer Foundation walk, guys. This is going to be a fun event. Okay, Dr. Don can tell you I like to have
She
fun. All
does. She
right.
likes to have
I
fun.
like to have fun. So it is going to be a fun event. We are going to have DJs. We're going to do a beautiful balloon release at the end. It's going to be
Oh.
prizes and trinkets along the walk to keep you engaged.
Yes.
Dr. Don, know I like to give out t-shirts, honey. Call me the
Yes.
t-shirt queen,
Yes, she
honey. So
does.
of course we're gonna have a t-shirt, and we just want the community to come out. It's in Cypress area, and I did that strategically on
Yeah.
purpose because a lot of the walks and things are towards the medical center and inner city. So I wanted to make sure that those
Mm,
on the outskirts, in the outer
that's
suburban
smart.
areas of Houston, they can too have something to participate in. If they want to give back, they can, and they don't have to feel like they got to fight traffic to get into the inner city. So we
Yeah.
want to make it be about that next year. We plan on having it in Fort Bend. So
Okay.
we're going to be the type of walk that's going to come to the people. We're going to bounce around and go where we're needed to make sure that we'll have that there. And also, for the walk. We're going to be doing diabetes checks, high blood pressure checks. And so we are grateful to be in collaboration with a great organization that's going to offer those things. And then also, too, we're going to have the bronchial test on site. So,
Okay.
yes. So
That's wonderful.
we got with a lab, and so if you like, I can't remember what she said, what I do. Just come out to the walk. We'll
It's
take care of
free.
you.
It's
Just
free,
come out.
right?
Just come out. Yeah, it's free. Just come out to the walk and we will take care of you.
I tell you, Alexis, fight. Now, why is it Fight Like a White
Because
Foundation?
my last name is White, and my husband told me, babe, you are he talking about, even though you married me and you became a white, he said, boy, you the biggest fighter this white family than ever had. So it stuck. It just stuck.
I
So
like it.
yes,
I
yes, yes,
like it.
yes,
Man,
yes.
I tell you, Alexis Caesar, Fight White. Sarah,
Yes.
I gotta say thank you. Thank God you're still with us. I'm telling you, and many times when people go through these things, they're sharing with others. Alexis is giving us a wake up call. She's giving us a wake
Absolutely.
up call. So Alexis, I want to say God bless you, girl. Thank you.
You. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you for having me. And I just
Yes.
want everybody to go out and tonight, if you do nothing else, look at your boobies, touch on them, and
Mm,
make sure they're well. That's it.
yes. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. Let's keep it real. You
Let's
gotta
just
keep
keep
it
it
real.
real. You gotta say,
Yeah.
like, look at them. Don't be fearful, girl. Stand up there in that mirror loud and proud, okay?
Yeah, yeah. And don't leave that doctor's office. If they tell you, be like, no.
That's right.
And then if
That's
they
right.
don't, go get another opinion.
Yeah, but if you're looking for some good opinions, shoot us an email, give us a phone call, and we'll point you in the right direction.
Okay, so you give
You're not
referrals
alone.
too. You give
Yes,
us,
yes.
okay, okay,
Yes, we have a list of physicians that are oncologists that are willing and ready to go. So you're not alone, okay?
okay.
You're not alone. And I know for some women it's scary. They don't want to know. They don't want to tell anybody until they know for sure, but they don't want to go to the appointments by yourself. That's what Fight Like a White is for. We go with you. We hold your hand. We love on you from the start. You are part of our tribe. Come on,
Wow,
let's
that's
go.
wonderful. That is wonderful. Alexis, I will be, of course, giving that email out again during
Yes,
the show. And
thank you,
that's
babe.
just wonderful. And then I'm gonna share some of that information on my social media so people
Perfect.
can see that on Facebook as well. Alexis, God bless you, girl. Look at all that. She gave us all that in 10 minutes, y'all. 15 minutes. God
Yes.
bless you, girl. Thank
Thank
you.
you, love. All
God
right,
bless
bye,
you. Love you.
y'all.